Opening weekend archery season here in Missouri just passed.
Look at that blood.
And it ended up with some venison in the freezer.
You find her?
Oh yeah, huge.
And several good lessons. Friends of ours, Rylan and Chase White, also hunt the Ozark Mountains, and their family lease is about an hour and a half east of here. They've worked hard during the past couple of years to add a lot of quality forage. Deer that used to use just their property, maybe 20% of their home range and 80% on neighbors, probably focused on that property more because of the added quality food. And of course, does are gonna be more productive when they have a better diet.
You got him.
Let's go.
Look at that.
It's also important to stay on top of that herd's population. You don't want that deer herd to outgrow the amount of forage even though you're adding forage. Anytime you're doing good habitat work, it's important to monitor that food to deer ratio and keep it balanced for the quality of critters you want to see. Rylan's been part of our team for some time, and last year he tagged his first deer with a bow.
Congratulations, dude.
Having filled his archery tag last year, he was super excited to get back in the stand this year.
All right.
It's a great feeling knowing you've made a good shot and you've got fresh venison for the family. And to highlight that feeling, they stayed in the stand and enjoyed a lot more excitement.
Growing Deer is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Also by Green Cover Food Plots, Winchester, Moultrie Mobile, Fleet Outdoor Apparel, Morel Targets, RTP Outdoors, Fourth Arrow, Scorpion Venom Archery, Case IH Tractors, Ward Laboratories, Burris Optics, G5 Broadheads, Prime Bows, and Redneck Hunting Blinds.
The success of this hunt was pretty obvious. They had a quality food source, and that quality food source doesn't have a lot of competition because acorns usually aren't falling during the early portion of Missouri's archery season. Knowing where food is, especially when it's a limited resource, is a surefire way to see deer. Once they climbed down, it was easy to find the trail.
Ooh, look at all that blood. Holy cow.
Spewing.
I mean, look at that blood.
The G5 M3 did a job. There's a heck of a blood trail to follow.
A Milo head from the summer release.
Penetration.
Smoke.
Rylan was using the M3 broadhead by G5. I've been using M3 for several years and I'm a huge fan. Because of that 3-blade design and the way they put the bevel on there, it's easy to resharpen and use again. I've used 2 blades, 3 blades, and later on a bunch of mechanicals. One thing I've learned through all those experiences with the 3-blade, you almost always get a really good blood trail. Sometimes a 2-blade can slice through there, but that skin or fat or something can plug a hole, limiting the trail. That 3-blade M3 has worked really well for Rylan and myself.
Blood everywhere.
Got your knockback too.
Cool.
Sometimes you gotta be looking for a little bit more, as these guys found out while following the trail. Boy, that's a big old copperhead. You want to make sure you keep your distance from those rascals.
With my hand. All right. You find her?
Oh yeah, she's huge. Look at the hole. Oh, I went through backside shoulder.
Oh, that blew through backside. Smoked her, dude. Heck yeah, nice shot. How many deer is that for you with a bow?
2.
Nice.
Hey Rylan, congratulations for setting an example for all of us to start the 2023 season, providing fresh venison for your family, and I can't wait to watch the rest of your hunts throughout the season.
Look at that. It's nice having a boy grow up.
Chase and Rylan been following the release process and adapting as they need to for the tools they have available in their situation, which is what we all need to do. Obviously, it's proven successful for them. And in this large plot, they had built up some mulch. We've been in a wicked drought here in southern Missouri, like a lot of people have, a lot of areas have. And that mulch certainly helped hold that moisture in versus if they dissed the plot and that sun's just beating down on that bare ground. And that was producing enough forage to obviously attract deer. They'd planted the fall release blend, which is known to be fairly drought hardy. And that different variety of plants, some will be more drought hardy than others. And again, with the variety species in there, some are going to attract deer early, mid, and late season. I like to call that the time release strategy. If I had just, for example, all soybeans out there, which is a good attractant during the fall, and they popped up, got an inch or two tall, well, deer could wipe them out and I'd have bare ground the rest of the hunting season. But by having a blend, you can cover all your bases. They were excited to get back out the following afternoon and hunt a hidey-ho food plot.
Night 2 here in southern Missouri. Rylan smoked a doe last night. We're going in after the big boys tonight. The wind shifted. We're going to give it a whirl. We're taking the climbers in, going to see if we can get on one. I'm doing an interview out here because we're going to be right next to bedding. That way I don't have to do one in the stand. Let's see what happens.
Chase and Rylan very wisely chose to place this plot pretty close to cover. And they're in that early season, still pretty warm outside. Bucks and does may not travel very much before it gets dark. The closer you can put those food plots to a good source of cover, known cover, the less time it takes them to get from cover to food. And that's especially true if you locate those based on your predominant winds or whatever, so you can approach, hunt, and exit without alerting deer in that cover. They're very comfortable, hopping out of bed, walking 75 yards or so, getting to that food source, and often that will work in them being there during legal shooting hours. I had a chance to get out the same time Chase and Rylan were hunting, and I chose a hidey-ho food plot that's brand new, so I don't have that mulch built up, and you can tell it was wicked dry, not much growing out there, but it's also a good cut-through area. There's a steep valley off to my west, and deer tend to bed in there. There's some water down there, and the wind swirls in the valley, so they're safe bedding in there. They feel comfortable in there. They tend to cut from up above me a little bit through there, going over to a larger feeding area. So I was pretty excited about this hunt, even though I didn't have many groceries right in front of me. It's just a natural cut-through area. And I was sitting there, and guys, the shadows got going, the sun got down by the horizon. Look over here to the west, and there's a big old nanny and a younger deer with her coming our way. But as soon as I spotted her, her head was up, she was periscoping, she was on edge, even though our scent should be going behind us based on the wind at that moment. She was going towards us, but just on alert the whole time, just very alert. And I knew if she got within range, it'd be a tough shot, because that's the perfect type of deer. Her actions told me she would likely try to jump the string at the sound of the bow going off or the arrow flying towards the deer. I was gonna wait and see how close she got, what's going on, but as it turned out, she didn't make it to us. She was just so on edge. She didn't run, she just eased out and went the other way. When I really thought about it, she probably had bedded further down the valley than I anticipated them bedding based on observations from last year. And my scent was going behind me, thermals were kicking in, I'm sure hooking over here, going down in that valley. I suspect she caught a whiff of a human, me, when she was on her way in, and that's why she was alert when she got there. I don't know that for sure, but everything I observed indicates that's the case. And when deer on edge, it didn't take much to set them off. She just felt someone right, and I get to use that tag another afternoon. Lesson from my hunt's pretty clear. It's not just the wind is right where you're setting, but where's your scent going and where are deer bedding. Now I knew that, but I've seen deer come actually from the top side instead of the bottom side like she did, and I suspect my scent was whipping down that valley at a place where her and the other deer started. We want to think about where our scent is going, and will the deer we are trying to hunt encounter that scent before they get to us. It's not just where the scent's hitting you on the nose, but where it's going and where the deer are coming from. One weekend down, Growing Deer team's got a little venison in the freezer, and we're excited to continue throughout this season. We'll keep bringing you updates at least once or twice a week. So if you like this kind of information, please give us a like or subscribe and stay tuned. But more importantly, hope you get outside and enjoy creation, and make sure and take some quiet time and seek the Creator's will for your life and apply it daily. Thanks for watching Growing Deer.